Today's guest, DJ Barton, CEO and founder of Go Solar with DJ. 25 years as an entrepreneur, and he's never had a job. Up next, you don't want to miss. Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy, your medical celebrity doctor, and this is Dr. Nancy Knows, the talk show that brings awareness, inspiration, and hope to many communities globally, bridging the gap of disparity, uniting our nation. We do that not only through my 25 years of medical practice, but through individuals that are experts in their field of industry that are coming on the show telling us how they are impacting their circle of influence. And every once in a while, we'll have a celebrity. Be sure to tune in on NGC Network, the network that supports alignment of all things wellness. Today's guest, we have DJ Barton. He is the CEO and founder of Go Solar with DJ. DJ, it's so nice to have you on the show today.
Dr. Nancy, it's great to meet you and see you on the show as well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I met you through my colleague, Shasta Brodus, Capital Stewardship. We worked together on a number of projects, and if she recommends someone that needs to come on the show, it's going to happen. So it's so great to have you. You've been an entrepreneur for 25 years and you've never had a job. So you've obviously loved everything that you've done.
I love it. I love entrepreneurship. I love having the freedom and flexibility to do what I want, when I want, with where I want, especially with who I want, and to have that, control your own destiny.
Well, I love that. So tell us more. How did it happen?
So, actually it happened when I was a lot younger. My father passed away, a month before my 8th birthday in a tragic accident. And so it made me look at life a lot differently. Not settle to be average and just be the status quo. And, I always worked hard, started my first business when I was 13, actually, and started working hard. And when I was 18, just like a lot of other people, you have to, what do you want to do when you grow up? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to get a job? And I didn't want to do any of that. I wasn't very good at school, barely graduated high school. I was that dreamer in class that just drifted off thinking about futures and making money and helping people and getting a job at minimum wage wasn't going to fulfill my lifestyle. And so I actually got introduced to being self-employed at the age of 18 and fell in love with what I got introduced to and found mentors that were willing to coach me and train me and help me get where I want to go.
Well, that is the roadmap to success now, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, we talk about mentors and how important they are and how instrumental they can be in your life, not only as a young person, but I do highly recommend that you constantly have a mentor as you evolve through life in different stages.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, all the greatest athletes and entrepreneurs in the world all have a mentor. They all have a coach. You're never good enough to not have a coach. There's always another level that you can accelerate at. And I've been very blessed to pay attention. My mentor said, you got to find people in life that have what you want, do what they do so you can get what they have, and just be super coachable, be humble so they want to work with you, because I needed them way more than they needed me, right? Because they already had the success. So I was I was a sponge. I was willing to pay attention. I invested in a lot of money in personal development. I went to a lot of seminars to work on myself, and it's been a dream come true.
Are you listening to this? This is what it takes. It takes stepping outside your comfort zone, humbling yourself, connecting with individuals that you aspire to be like and do things like, and invest in yourself.
Yep. He taught me 3 rules when I first got started. Rule number 1 was pay attention. Find people in life that have what you want, do what they do, and you get what they have. And make sure you're not paying attention to the wrong people, because then you'll go down the wrong direction. Second rule he taught me was get excited. And it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg. So many people are like, well, I'll get excited when I start making money. No, you have to be excited to attract the money to you. And the last rule is the most important. He said, never quit. As long as you never quit, you will get where you want to go. It might not be in your time frame of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It might be 20 years. We're having more success 25 years later than we did the first 10 years combined, but I never quit on my goals, my dreams, on the direction I was going. I maybe had to pivot a little bit and go back to the drawing board, because a lot of times I always say God will put you in the right place at the right time when you're ready to make the kind of money that you're able to make, right? Because if you make it too soon, you're going to lose it, right? Like a lot of people win the lottery. They win hundreds of millions of dollars. They go broker than they were before they got the money because they weren't prepared for it. So the journey is preparation.
Enjoy the journey is what I often say. You are definitely speaking my language. And again, that energy that you put out and the belief that you have in yourself, the confidence that you it comes from you and it comes from within. So there's no one that can tell you and steal all of these things in you. It has to start with you. And forgiveness is one. And I'd like to chalk it up as wins and losses, right? Or wins and learns. That's what I want to say. Wins and learns, because you have to pivot. Just because it didn't work doesn't mean it won't ever work. And timing is everything. You spoke to that as well.
100%.
And all the years that you've never given up and you've kept one foot in front of the other and you've listened to the right advice and the right people. And that doesn't always happen immediately either, because you've got to go through some bad advice too, peaks and valleys. But the goal is to never give up, to keep one foot in front of the other. So that is a mantra.
Absolutely. And a lot of people think failure is failure, but failure is just learning how it doesn't work so you can go try it a different way, right? And so many people get hard on like, oh, it didn't work for you. It's like, no, it didn't work that way. I just have to figure out another way to do it.
Absolutely. And so don't let someone like spit on your dreams, right?
Yeah.
You want people that are in your camp that believe in what you want to do and want to help you get there.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because there's a lot of dream stealers out there because they don't have any dreams of their own to go find, right? Or they don't believe in themselves that they can actually achieve them. A lot of people have insecurities, self-doubts, limited beliefs whether they can be successful because of what happened in their upbringing, right? Because maybe their parents talked down at them, or the people that they surrounded themselves were more negative than positive, right? And my mentor said, DJ, your income is an average of your 5 closest friends. So when I had to reevaluate that at 18, who I was hanging out with, and I had to start hanging out with a different network in order to grow. And it's so true today. If you look at your network, most people you hang out with are very similar. And if you don't like that lifestyle and that vibe, then you have to change that environment.
I live my life that very same way. I absolutely do. So if you're not motivated yet in this interview, keep listening. So tell us about your Go Solar program. Yeah.
So to be very transparent, I didn't even try to get into solar. A friend of mine approached me because we do a lot of social media marketing for other companies. And he said, would you be willing to do exactly what you do on social media in the solar space? And he goes, what do you know about solar? And I go, close your eyes for a minute. That's how much I know about solar. I don't know much about it, but I go, marketing's marketing. And if I believe in something, I can go to the top. I go, so let me ask you 5 questions before I decide to get into it. The first question I asked him was, why should I get into solar right now? And at the time when I got in, less than 2% of the United States had solar. So in business, we already said timing is everything, but you got to act on it also. The second question I asked him was, I said, what are the negatives in solar? Because there's negatives in everything. You got to just figure out what's right, what's wrong. And he said, truthfully, the door-to-door pushy, aggressive salespeople that overpromise, underdeliver, they're more focused on their commissions than helping an actual customer. I said, that'll actually play in my favor. I go, the third question was, what's the industry standard for referral fees? He said about $500 to $1,000. I go, okay. Fourth question is how do you currently market your business now? And a lot of people in solar do door to door, or they pay for ads, or they have call centers, or they have setters. Everything costs money, buy leads, whatever the case may be. And then the last question, I said, why should I work with you out of all the companies out there? And so it went past the sniff test. And I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a business model, because I know we live in what's called the gig economy, right? Everybody's driving Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, getting their real estate or insurance license, or joining some type of affiliate or direct sales network marketing. And so we know people want to make some extra money, right? And just like everybody wants to win the lottery, but nobody wants to buy the ticket. Meaning unfortunately, most people are lazy. They pick the path of least resistance. And so what I wanted to do is create a system where I could go on social media and reach out to my network. And what I did is I created a utility bill review audit, no purchase necessary. And I teach people, everyday people, in 15 minutes, how to have a 90-second conversation. They don't have to know anything about solar. They just I teach them to ask 2 questions, hit the pain point, followed up with a 3rd question, and they connect me. And I built a referral network, if you will. It's like an organic sales team of 187 people in about 7 months. And now we have business coming to us every single day. It's all warm leads, warm network. We pay out 5 figures a month in referral fees. We're changing people's lives. Instead of doing the industry standard of $500 to $1,000, I split my commissions 50-50 with them because they're a partner in the deal. And of course I cap it at $2,500. So if we make more than $5,000, we give them $2,500 for a 90-second conversation. And if it's less than that, we just split it equally, and it took off. The more you give, the more you receive, right? And so it's been a dream come true to come in and clean up the industry and do things different and leverage the not so good and create something amazing. And now we've gone viral all over the United States.
Well, that's simply amazing, actually. Are you still looking for individual people to be a part of your team?
Yeah, we're always expanding, right? We want to, we have big goals. On the internal side of our company, I set a goal this year. I'm very passionate about helping people make money and change their life because I've had people do that to me, right? And so I created a system. We're expanding our referral network, absolutely, but we're also expanding our solar sales team where I'm teaching 100 people how to make six figures part-time by 2023, which is about 1 to 3 sales a month. Nice. So they can still do what they love to do. I have a lady that went through my program last month, and she's a full-time dental assistant, no sales experience, and especially in solar. And just her first month through my program made a little over $11,550. So it's amazing.
Well, how does individual get a hold of you?
They can find me on social media. Type in my name in, DJ Barton. One of my LLCs is Carpe Diem Partners. That's where I'm on Instagram. Those are the best ways to reach out and let them know that they saw me in your show.
Well, that is excellent. Well, there's more. So being DJ Barton on the show, on this particular show, I hear you're giving away a couple of things.
Yeah, what we do is a free utility bill review audit, no purchase necessary. I love showing homeowners if they stay with their electric company versus go solar, what that looks like. No purchase necessary. We're giving everybody a $100 hotel voucher just by sitting through the entire presentation, which takes about 25 minutes.
Okay. And then if you are a homeowner and you mentioned you're being seen on this show and you take on solar panels, you get a referral fee as well.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of misunderstandings around the solar industry. We have programs right now where we can eliminate your electric bill 100%. And when you go solar, it costs you zero money out of pocket. It's like the old sign and drive days. And the tax credit this year is about 26%, and it's going away. Next year, it's going down. In 20 months, it'll actually be gone completely. That's why so many people are going solar. But you can finance it as low as 1.49% over 25 years. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I wanted to get into that, some myths about solar panels and or facts as well. Yep. So, my one question then is, I know you can save so much money on your electric utility bills. And if there's sun in your city or state, solars are really excellent. Now, sometimes you can even have zero bill for energy that month. And then can you build up a surplus and sell that back to the energy company?
Yeah, so it's called energy banking. That's what it is. So you've definitely done your homework. Basically, you only need about 5.5 hours of sunlight to generate 24 hours of energy for a home. Okay. The rest of it goes back to the grid. They actually sell it to the retail stores, make a large profit, and they bank your energy. And some months you're going to overproduce. Other months you'll underproduce, but it's kind of like the debit credit old T-Mobile days, if you remember that. And at the end of the year, whatever excess energy that you have, the company will actually buy that at a wholesale rate for you.
Wow. Okay. That's excellent. Excellent. Okay. Very good. Now listen. You don't just have one job, right? Well, it's really not a job. It's a business. So you don't just have one business, although this one's doing very well for you, but you have multiple businesses that are in your wheelhouse. Speaks to your experience as well. And it's all about bringing awareness and impacting people's lives.
Yep.
So tell me about credit repair, financial literacy company.
Yeah. So I got passionate about it. I was just being very humble about it. I had less than perfect credit. As we go through life at a young kid and growing up, a lot of people don't teach you about financial literacy and credit and how valuable it really is. And so I had a 604 credit score. And so I went to a lot of, start Googling a lot of the credit repair companies out there. I learned there was some not so good things out there for sure. And there were some that were good. And I went through the ringer trying to find the right one. And what happened was I got introduced to the program that I represent. And within 96 days following their system, I went from a 604 to a 769 in 96 days. So I was a client first. And then I said, I could really stand behind this. It's like if somebody is overweight and they start taking a weight loss and they lose a bunch of weight. Now they're a walkie talking billboard. That's what I did with the credit space. And then I started using their debt payoff tools. And instead of paying my car off in a little over 3 years, I paid it off in 12 months and a few days because of their debt payoff system and the budgeting tools and the savings goal, wealth building tools, everything that we have around financial literacy. What we do is we'll sit down with an individual and we'll find out how much they make, how much they spend, where can we eliminate some of the not so good spending habits that people have, all the different subscriptions, right? And what their credit score is. Because if you think about it, if you have a 500 credit score versus a 700, you're going to pay almost 2.5 times more for the same car, the same house that I would, or someone with great credit, because you have bad credit and it's the same amount you're financing. So you're spending a lot of negative energy, if you will, towards bad debt versus good debt. So we teach people all of that and sit down and create their whole financial outlook and then give them a system to where they can, our goal is to fix their credit, get rid of all the negatives, build their credit up, pay off their debt, build wealth, and protect their assets.
So that's simply remarkable. We live in a society right now where a lot of credit has been damaged. A lot of businesses have gone out of business, have been invested personal monies in it. They need their credit repaired, and being educated from a financial literacy standpoint is so important. It makes all the difference because you're right. We weren't taught that in school. It's still not being taught in school. I love what you're doing. So how does individuals get a hold of you regarding that?
Sam, so I'm all over the social media scene. We do a lot of social media marketing, but I'm on LinkedIn as DJ Barton, Facebook DJ Barton. And so those are the two main platforms you can find me on, along with Instagram. Just search my name and my picture will pop up and just message us and connect. We love doing discovery and just building relationships with people through social media.
That's great. Now listen, do you help with repairing business credit too?
I can refer that out, but I personally don't do it.
Good. Okay. There's another, you've already talked about it, the social media marketing aspect. You're co-author on the book Momentum with Jordan Adler. Can you speak a little bit about that book?
Momentum Makers. And Jordan Adler, top money earner in his field. He's well known. He also wrote the book Beach Money, if you've known that book as well. And Jordan and myself, along with a few other colleagues in the online marketing space, got together and co-authored a book all about social media, branding, scaling up your business, because we live in a world today of branding yourself. Like, you can literally brand yourself overnight and learn our systems and become an influencer within a year, even if you've never done anything on social media before. There's so many. Social media is such a powerful tool. When I first started my businesses 25 years ago, it's like, now I'm dating myself, but we didn't have social media. When I had to go build a business, I had to go through my graduation books with my parents' wedding, list, the phone books and Smile and Dial. And now you can literally be a headhunter, if you will, and look for your perfect avatar of who would buy your product, service, or opportunity, or who you want to work with, and go look at their social influence. I mean, social media is basically your resume today, right? I mean, we all look at each other online to see who we're going to meet and learn about them and get as much ammunition as possible before we actually have a conversation, so we know enough about people. So if you're not involved in social media, most people are being used by social media versus using social media to their advantage. And that's what we teach you how to do.
That's really great information. Honestly, really great information, because, pitfalls in business and what you knew 25 years ago as opposed to what you know now, the major difference, and timing is everything, and all the lessons learned and what you've evolved into, and the enterprise that you have created for yourself. You should be pretty proud of that.
Thanks. Yeah, just keep going. That's all you got to do.
Just keep going.
Yep.
So, for the individual that is an entrepreneur or wants to become one of those, there's a lot of unemployment in our community and economy. What advice would you give them?
Don't wait so many people want to get good before they start. You have to start to get good. Meaning there's no perfect time to have a baby. It happens when it happens, right? The best time to start a business is right now. And most people get scared because they've never done it before. But if you don't do it now, when are you going to? Time is just going to keep on ticking. So you got to find something you believe in. You get excited about it. Like what I do, I don't feel like it's work. I feel it's like my calling. I love what I do. I love helping people make money and see the smile on their face and the impact it makes me feel. I do it for them, but selfishly, I do it for the feeling for me also. Because it makes you feel good when you help someone impact their life.
You're
right?
empowering them.
Yeah, so it's a win-win. I do it for myself, for the feeling, but I do it for them because it's such an amazing reward. But you got to find something you can get passionate about that it doesn't feel like a job.
Well, that's what I always say. Find what your purpose is, and then you won't ever work a day in your life. However, we didn't say it was going to be like a, walk through the roses. You're going to have to work at it. With the great resignation, right? So many people are unemployed. There are so many opportunities that was presented in this interview today for individuals that, can earn some money. And that's what it is. You want to pay your bills. You want to put food on the table, and, you want to get educated and have a skill set that can earn money for you.
Yep. We all have dreams, right? We all have goals. And I believe that if you believe that you can have whatever your dream is. Like we all dream of traveling the world, having that picture perfect house or that car or what that type of business, a certain lifestyle that you dream of every day, but then you go to your 9 to 5 and don't follow your dream. I believe that God would not put those thoughts in our mind if they weren't being able to be achieved. And that's what I was just programmed when I was 18 years old. So I just believed I could have the lifestyle I want. It was just a matter of when I was prepared to receive it.
That's exactly right. So you have to start somewhere. And in the interim, still make money as well.
Yeah.
But don't ever give up on your dreams.
Yep. You keep your 9 to 5 if it's paying your bills, but add a side hustle. Turn off the Netflix, right? And put, an hour or two a day into a business for 3 to 4 or 5 years and watch what happens to the transformation in your life.
Excellent advice, DJ.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So listen, you're going to come and speak at our networks as well, because there's so much information that can be passed on that individuals can really utilize in their everyday life, right? And love having you here.
Thank you. I had fun being here.
Thank you. So listen, it's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. We'll talk again next week. Bye for now. NGC Network, the network that supports alignment of all things wellness.